first guy, and it was preseason game.
Yep, you should be able to go to a game and enjoy yourself and have fun. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to put up with that at all. And if the guy's too brutally drunk like that, he should be thrown out.
Yeah.
They should stop serving by after halftime. Right. But they're already drunk by the time they walk in there.
Huge beers.
Yeah. Yep.
Like quart beers.
We got garage beer.
Yep.
Kate's going to ask that question.
Hey, Mark.
I like that.
Yeah. Got his book of wisdom.
We're going to need that.
You're going to need it. Keep your shit up.
I did some pictures and all for you today.
Huh?
I did pictures of all kinds of stuff for you today.
You used the best purple crayon she had.
I did.
You look good, man.
You get electricity? You get electricity?
You look good, man. Keep up the good work.
I'll try.
It's not easy, I know. Trust me. Not easy.
It's hard to keep my hands off of it, you know what I'm saying?
You got to take care of that part.
She's fighting people.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you that story. No, I did in an elevator.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, in Allentown.
Oh, it's almost time.
It's
It's
starting.
almost time to get in trouble.
Oh, no.
Thank God Steve's here.
And welcome to Wide Open Wednesday here on WBCB. Here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
Yeah, gang's all here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, oh boy. Warren's here, Kate's here. I hear buzzing in my ear. I don't want no technical difficulty, Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have any buzzing. I'm good.
I don't have any buzzing. I think it's just in your head.
Maybe I got buzzed before I got here. I don't know. Maybe it's that garage beer I'm drinking. I don't know. But
Could be.
we got a full array of talent in studio, and it's going to call in the studio. Tonight we have Warren's Wisdom, and we always need that here. Warren's like our pastor that comes in once a month. He should come here like every other week, but and he's got his notes. And
He's got a real job.
he's got a real job. Me and Fred, we say we got real jobs, and you know, I'm telling you, I'm getting my practice in. So when you want to let me take that car out for a ride,
You can take it out.
just go down 95 and up and down 95 all day, Route 1. You'll get a lot of practice in.
Yeah, okay. I'll pass.
I have more laps than anybody getting laps in with that dump truck. It's just crazy. Thank God my boss doesn't have any junk. He has all brand new stuff, and I'm very blessed that way. Also, I want to mention that I had a birthday on Monday.
Happy birthday.
I turned 21 years old, so now I'm allowed to drink, hang out with Steve over at Johnny Longhots, and I still don't see a buffet from them after we mention them all this time. But I appreciate everybody's well wishes.
Did you have some garage beer?
Birthday wishes, garage beer.
Got garage beer.
Yep, and it's pretty crazy that when you have a birthday and people go on the internet and say happy birthday to you, you hear from people that you ain't heard from in a long time. And a guy that I used to work with at LG, his name is Mike, and he sent me a message and he called me today. And it's pretty funny because he looks like Squints Palladors from the Sandlot, and we used to call him Squints, but he's one of them guys that he's just so smart that when you talk to him, you get educated. He's kind of like the guy sitting next to me here. You get smart just by having a conversation with him. And
this is radio, so you have to spell that out. It's not me.
It's Warren. It's Warren, but his name is Mike Faris, and yeah, Mike's a cool guy. I told him I'd give him a shout out today.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, exactly. But I worked with him at LG. He was one of the managers there, and me and him used to have some great times together. So, Mike, there's your shout out. We're done with you. Let's get along with the program. What's going on, guys? What do we got going on there, Fred?
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. We got some callers calling in. We're talking about indoor racing at Allentown. We can actually start about that.
Yeah, because they were there.
Yeah.
And Warren was waving the flag. Yeah, you were waving the flags with giggles, right?
Yes.
And you know what? The racing was good.
Racing was really good. And I know Davey's going to call in, and I don't say this because, you know, obviously he's one of my bosses, you know, with the series. But that racetrack this past weekend was amazing. there was an outside,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you know, I talked to Ryan Flores, who, you know, was one of our winners, and I talked to Skip, and I'm like, you know, I don't watch the race. I'm watching the race.
Right.
And in watching the race, Steve Post is up on the flag stand with us,
Right.
calling with the race with Cowboy Paul Schmall.
Right.
And I could hear Steve say, you know, watch Flores, he's coming. And he started, I think it was like 12, 13, 14, something like that. And then I picked him up because I'm only watching 3 and 4.
Right.
Nicole's we're back to back because
Right.
she's watching 1 and 2 because they were turning 7 3s for laps.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean, like, it was happening quick when something would
Right.
go wrong. So I started picking up in the backstretch, and I'm like, ooh, he's going. And then he got to the outside on Friday, and it looked like it was a sprint car track. He put that right rear up on the edge
that's
that Davey created and just started picking them off one by one by one.
That's crazy.
It was awesome to see. It was an amazing race. I know Davey works tirelessly, and Kate are there tonight for setup. The amount of time that he puts in and what he does
Right.
to get the racetrack right. I mean, there were some spots we had to do a little patchwork to the concrete. You know, Davey's down there on his hands and knees cleaning out the area, getting it ready for us, and it produced an amazing racetrack.
Each year it just seems like it gets better and better with them.
Yes.
They're getting more acclimated to what they need to do and who they need, and they always have the same group of people that are working and doing what they're doing.
Yep.
And each year it just seems like it gets better and better and better. And Atlantic City, and then you have Trenton. I think Trenton's going to be mobbed. I think, and we'll get him on here and we'll talk to him about some stuff. We got to talk to him.
Doing what we can. I'm doing what I can to get Trenton filled up.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, it's just and if you look at the in-car tour from Andy J,
Right.
that Andy just posted a couple of days ago, you know, he's in the back and he's methodically working his way through
Right.
the field, and it's because again we had the racetrack, it was just set up for that, right? There
Right.
wasn't a lot of cautions.
Right.
I think we only had I don't even want to say a handful of flips. You know, we just had, you know,
Right.
They
Minor.
happen,
Stuff
right?
to happen. Yep.
But like nobody got hurt. You know, we didn't really tear a lot of stuff up,
Right.
and that just goes to when we have an amazing surface, it produces that great racing.
Yeah.
And that's all I think you saw everybody commenting on and providing compliments
Right.
of how good it was.
All right. Now, how did Pouch get a bloody nose?
I don't know where he stopped. Right.
Okay.
So where Billy stopped, he was behind me. So it was over like in turn
Okay.
2. I think he was over there by Mike Fry. Mike Fry was my
Okay.
turn 2 guy, and I remember Mike getting on the radio saying somebody had a bloody nose. But I mean, like,
Did something come in and hit him with
I don't
a visor
know.
up,
I
or-
don't
I'll have to
I don't
ask him
know.
out to call.
You know, I don't know what got Billy. I know Mandy, you know, when she does her videos, I know
Right.
there was a video about it, and I briefly saw a little bit of it,
Okay.
but I don't know what caused it, whether it was the helmet that,
Right.
because I know I remember at one point he got up over somebody's wheel and kind of like, you know, up and down. I don't know
Right.
if the helmet slid down and just,
Right.
you know, bumped his nose, and sometimes, you know, especially in the wintertime,
Right.
you know, how everybody's so dry, you know,
Yeah,
was that
exactly.
the case? I don't know, but I know it wasn't anything major, right? It
Right.
wasn't, you know, because I know that he continued on racing, but yeah, but I did hear, you know, Mike say to get one of the track services guys to come over
Right.
because Billy was bleeding.
Right.
But I didn't know it was Billy at the time. I just heard it said
Right.
somebody had a
Right.
bloody nose. And then after the fact, yeah.
Now with race season coming up, of course we got the indoor stuff. Now is the time, if you're working on your race car and you got it all apart and you can see everything's in the car, now's when you got to get what you're going to talk about, the safety stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah. This
all
is the time when,
You listening,
especially
Fred?
going in,
I'm listening.
especially
And
going into
I have more
motorsports,
questions.
right? Especially going into motorsports, right? When we do our inspections for the indoor series, right? We look at everything that the drivers present to us, right? Whether it is their, you know, their all their safety paraphernalia, top
Right.
to bottom. and if you bring something that doesn't conform to the rules,
Right.
we hold on to it because drivers, if I tell you don't use it, they're going to use it anyway.
Exactly.
So so we hold it. We had somebody that brought us a head and neck restraint that was 18 years out of date. 18 years out of date. And I didn't see it. Richard Marr, who's one of the inspectors, who's on a wheel and modify tour, is one of their technical and safety guys. He's sitting next to me and he's like, is this right? And he hands it to me. I'm like,
No.
I looked at the competitor and I'm like, are you like pulling our leg? I figured maybe this is just going to be a joke, right? And he's like, what? I'm like, bro, this is 18 years out of date. And he's like, is that a problem? I'm like, yes. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Yeah.
But that goes to the education part.
Right.
That's why we do what we do in here. So for for the driver apparel, we saw a lot of guys with gloves, and they're worn. They got holes in them. They're ripped up, and motorsports is coming.
Right.
You can go to Barron's. You can go to any one of the parts distributors. I'm not going to.
Most of them got deals.
Exactly. Go get a new pair of gloves.
Right.
I mean, we all know the incident at Martinsville with Tony Siscone, where and his hands got burnt really bad. Right.
Right.
We use our hands for everything that we do.
Right.
If you're someone in the trades, if your hand is hurt, right, you're in a bad spot. So so make sure you got a good pair of gloves. Right. Take a look at them, and most of them have a deal. Take a look at your fire suits. We had a handful of guys that came with us with fire suits that had areas where you could see where it was worn. It wasn't in a worn through, but there was some wear to the fire suit, right? Because then that's you want to make sure that it's compromised. Right. So you can send it to the manufacturer. They can repair it correctly, with the Nomex thread or put a Nomex patch over it. Do it correctly. Take a look at your head and neck restraint device. If the silver SFI sticker is greater than 5 years on the date, right? Because there's a month and a year that's stamped on there. Send it back to whomever manufactured the device, and they'll recertify it. They'll take a look at all the tethers,
right?
The hardware, the padding. For if it's a Hans, right? There's some padding that's here. They'll go through all that and make sure it's correct. They'll also inspect it. Stephen Dravicki, not to call out Stephen on the show, but Stephen had some.
He is
one had an incident, a couple of bad incidents. Sent his out to get recertified, and they told Stephen, you need to buy a new one because there's a variety of micro fractures
about that
in the device.
Right. That
if you have another significant crash, this could fail.
Yeah.
So so that's what they look at.
Is that something? Do you think that's something that guys should do yearly? Get them checked.
Oh yeah.
I would.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to make guys spend money. Lord only knows we.
Yeah, but your life is your life.
I absolutely 100%. If you have a bad crash, right? You have something that's a violent wreck, right?
Right.
You should replace your belts. Do not trust your belts after a bad crash.
Right.
All your seat belts need to be put out and replaced, right? Because they've already been stretched.
Right.
Right. And some of the belts even come with markers in there where they show that they're stretched. So you should replace your belts. I would send your head and neck restraint out to get checked to make sure that there's nothing that we can't see.
Is there anybody local that does that, Warren?
There are a bunch of people. When we were in Allentown, there was somebody out by Linda Speedway that was doing it. I know. I believe Barron's does it. There are a variety of people, but I would contact the manufacturer of your device, whether it's Hans, whether it's whomever, right? Call them up and say, "Hey, I'd like to get it recertified," and you can send it to them, and they'll recertify it. But take a look at your shoes, right? It's important. You don't hang up on Earl.
Yeah.
It's important. Take a look at your shoes, right? You want to make sure that there's no holes, in those devices.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize a lot of this stuff when I got my car, and I noticed, and I was talking, and the seat belts were out of date in 2003. So I got new seat belts.
Yep.
I got a brand new seat. I got a brand new fire suit. Andy gave me new shoes. and new gloves and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I
yeah.
think on the fire suits, it's SF3 or something? Is that what it is?
It's so they're on the sleeve of your suit there is a label. So there's an SFI label.
Yeah.
It should be
WBCB.
3.25
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
minimum
Get you on the
requirement,
show
right?
in just a minute.
Yeah, I think
But you want to make sure
3.5.
that
Yeah,
it's a single layer suit.
Right.
When I say single piece, not two piece. It's
Yeah,
a one
I got one piece,
and then
yeah.
2-layer suit, right? And then when you wear your underwear on top of that, that's kind of like a 3-layer suit.
Yeah.
That's going to give you the most protection in the event that you have a fire in your vehicle,
Right.
And that's why it's so important that when we tell drivers, make sure you're wearing your head and neck, your underwear, tops and bottoms, your socks.
Balaclava.
Wear a Nomex hood, right? A balaclava. That protects that open area, but because your collar of your fire suit comes up to here, but there's usually that gap underneath your
Now,
chin.
if all that with the fire suit and all that, if you add that spray, that gives you another add.
Correct, right. So
Okay.
if you use the Inferno armor,
Right.
that Bear Schlesinger, who's our East Coast distributor, but Kevin Thomas Jr.
Right.
and him and his dad came up with this program. That also will help you
There you
give you
go.
that extra seconds
Right.
to get out of the race car, because when you have that fire, right, you want to be able to, again, you
Get
got to get your belts off, get the
Right.
steering wheel out of the way, and then get out of the car, right?
Yep.
And that's why a lot of guys practice in their garage, turn the lights out
In the dark.
and in the dark, and then get out of your race car, so that and practice it, so that God forbid something happens,
Right.
it's muscle memory, right?
Yep.
You know how to get stuff.
How
out.
many callers we got there?
That's close on.
Who we got first?
I think Paulie. Or
Paulie.
Fred- or
All
Fred.
right, that's fine.
No, we'll get
Put them
him.
on. Paulie, are you there? What's up, buddy? How are you? You know what? We're a full house today, and you finally got that win you were looking for, right? In Allentown? How was that? Cool. Now I know you were you probably should have won before, but you kind of got knocked out of the way, right? And that's part of racing too. But you know what? You've won in all kinds of stuff, so you know what comes in racing and what doesn't come in racing, and your dad. We know how your dad and your mom support you, and all the people that support you, your sponsors and stuff. Now, are you going to race in Atlantic City? And then what about Trenton? Now, see, everybody knows who you are, and then you don't get a chance to race at New Egypt, and it's crazy because of your age, right? Tell everybody how old you are.
WBCB.
13.
Hey, it's going.
And you've won
It's
at
going to
North
show us a couple
Wilkesboro.
months.
You swept it down there. And
That's
then
right, man.
it's kind of hard to believe. I think, I don't know if the rules should be changed, but you know how people are, Paulie. He's only 13 years old and he shouldn't be racing. He should be just barely pedaling a bicycle. Yeah, but they don't know the talent that you have. And there's so many guys out there like yourself that have so much talent, and you have natural talent. And your Aunt Kate is sitting right next to me, and she told me I had to give you a little more airtime because I kind of cut you short last time. Now, what are your plans after the indoor stuff? What are your major plans for the beginning of the year? So you got a lot of asphalt stuff coming up. What about dirt stuff? Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, see, we gotta speed the clock up for you. You know what I mean? So it goes by in years, so we can get you racing at New Angel, because I know you'll do good there. You do good wherever you go. Give Mom and Dad a hug for me and tell them we said hi. But just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep learning what you're learning. You and James blew it. The dirt, the asphalt, it doesn't matter. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you're welcome on our show anytime. We're going to be at Motorsports. We're going to have a booth there. Make sure you come see us, because I'm going to be doing a lot of Facebook Live when we want you on the show, okay? All right, buddy, we love you. And take care of yourself and keep doing what you're doing. All right, buddy, no problem. Thanks for calling.
You got Earl.
You want to hang up on this guy now, or you want to wait?
No, I think we got him now.
Earl?
Oh, he's there.
I got a hammer in my hand, so if he even tries to reach for the dump button, he's getting whacked with this hammer, Earl. So, Earl, what's going on? Yeah, we got them in the studio with us here, and we always have Warren's wisdom, and we got Cade here to keep us in line. So, what's going on with you? You ready for the next stuff that's going to happen indoors and the Eastern Motorsports Press Association? That went over well. I heard that was really good. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, Earl, do you have to be a member of the Eastern Motorsports Press Association to go to the banquet, or can you just buy a ticket and go? Oh, okay, cool. Because I remember when we first opened New Egypt, Andy Belmont sponsored the cocktail party. Well, New Egypt Speedway did, because Andy was in charge. And if anybody has never went there, and that's why I asked the question, if you could just be a guest to go there, you need to go, because it's a pretty... Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool thing to go to. You get to see some photographers. You get to see special guests that come, like you mentioned them, and they're pretty top tier people to come to that. I got to meet Gary Skelsey when I was there, and I got to talk to him, got his autograph and stuff. And believe it or not, I've stayed in touch with him throughout the years. So pretty neat deal. That's mark that down on your bucket list, gang, to go to the Eastern Motorsports Press Association weekend. That's a pretty neat deal.
I just did.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I'll be bugging somebody next year.
And the food is really good, too. They put on a nice spread there, too. Yep, absolutely. So mark that down. Oh, you got to have the food, and it's got to be good, or they're going to complain and cry like everything else. So. Oh, there you go.
A wide open Wednesday. We'll both be there.
We'll be there.
We'll all be there. We just got our badges today, so we're all ready to go.
Earl, are we allowed to bring a cooler with drinks in it? Well, we're going to talk to Davey or Danny, whoever's going to call here tonight, and we'll ask them. All right. Yeah, because Warren wants to bring some moonshine and get all twisted up during the show. So
Those that know me know that I don't do that.
Fireball is his favorite.
hey, there's a first time for everything, Earl. So come by our booth, you'll see Warren all twisted up. Yes, we were going to mention that. Yep. Yeah.
I remember being in the pits in Flemington when I was a kid, and it was like he was the god of the pits.
Yeah, he was like shaking hands with the president. And he had some of the nicest race cars that ever graced the racetrack. And he just, and his son was so gracious also. I mean, Kenny and Jimmy, I mean, anytime I wanted to do something at New Egypt, Kenny was always there. When we did the Legends of the Fall, Kenny was like, oh, yeah, put me on the list. I'll be there. And, we lost him too. He was a great race car driver and great family. And that's why we do what we do here. We want people to remember that kind of stuff. We want people to remember the old racing stuff. And speaking of that, the time capsule, we're real close to all that stuff. So once we get all these shows out of the way and all this other stuff, Earl, you got to get your car gassed up and you got to come over here so we can get you in the studio. Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research over the last few days. I've been, Googling and reading things and talking to some people about all the tracks, even Langhorne. And so I'll have a bunch of material that we can bounce off each other. So, yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
We got to take a break, I guess. That's what he's telling me. Well, Earl, we appreciate you calling, and we appreciate everything you give to the show. And I'm sure you're going to be calling tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a guest host tomorrow because Foxwell's under the weather. So
it'll
be Brooks St. Ives will be on with me. So that's always a lot of fun too.
All right, Earl. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stepping on the throttle. We got a caller.
Yeah, Billy Claxton.
All right.
We'll do Billy, then Tommy's going to call in, and then Davey's going to call in at like 5:40. So
You got 12 minutes. Figure it out.
that's why I'm keeping you in line today.
Yeah, really. Don't make me. I'll get the defibrillator. I'll put it on you. I'll zap you.
Is there a Flyers game at 7?
No, but the show.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, we get screwed. They owe us an hour already.
No, I figured that was the issue today.
We get screwed 5 minutes every time.
I'm trying to keep them moving.
Yeah, we can go to Chicky and Pete's. They'll give us wings and fries for free. No, we're going to Johnny Longhouse. That's where
That's
we're
probably
going.
I can't wait till Nifty 50 opens.
Oh, I loved it.
WBCB.
It's right around the corner.
Milkshakes.
Funds save lives. Change the face of men's.
All right, who's next?
We got Billy first, and then Tommy Lane. That's
Okay.
probably who's calling now.
All right.
Hi, this is Beryl Reese.
And then Davey.
The garage is always open.
Then maybe your end. I'm not entirely sure.
How refreshing. I believe my good friend Jason Kelsey even described garage beer as beer.
No, I should be okay. Yeah, it may be your end, but you can double check it.
Remember, the garage
Awesome.
is always open.
Join On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. live
Yeah.
from a different
Yeah, it's
championship
probably
near
something-
you. Join
something
hosts
minor.
Paul Jolovitz and former Flyers Bernie Perrine, Brad
Awesome.
Marsh, and Keith Primo.
All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
1490 AM WBCB and 107.3
There's this guy
FM.
listening to the show. He couldn't hear the callers, but he could hear you guys. He was wondering if there was a
Well, we're not on Facebook Live, so that ain't my problem. Engineer. Fucking up the callers
He said he
again?
could hear you guys, but he couldn't hear the caller. I don't know why.
That's got to be on his end, because nobody else has said nothing.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, Steve. I'm blaming you.
Yeah, because Lisa could hear Paulie, so.
Ask somebody if they can hear the callers if they're listening.
Yeah, Lisa heard Paulie, so.
Yeah, somebody would have told us. They hear the callers. That's good. We got. We got them lined up, man.
WBCB, please hold. And we're back here on Wide Open Wednesday. Once again, here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
That Steve's busier than a one-arm paper hanger over there. He's going, now you got an excuse to deck people, Steve. Just, no, you're not in. You're not in.
We got Billy on right now.
All right, Bill. Billy Kleinsman, what's up, my brother? It's always an awesome Wednesday when you're on Wide Open, Billy. What's going on with Maple Grove, brother?
Tommy? Awesome, I'll get you on there.
Fred's going to bring the Griswold wagon
The
out.
best part of having a daily driver is you can turn your heat on and then go down the track.
There. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And what else we got going on, Bill? After the daily driver, what's after that? Nice.
Right on.
Yep, so are we, Billy, and we appreciate you calling us each and every week. We thank you for all your input with Maple Grove, buddy. All right, Billy, we'll talk to you later, bro.
All right.
We got another caller.
You got Tommy.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Huggy Bear. What's happening, Huggy? Now,
He's been waiting for a half hour to say that to you.
speaking of Huggy Bear, Tom, you want to tell Kate how that happened?
Not really.
See? Yep.
Yep.
Tom, they couldn't have called you Tommy the Tornado. They had to call you Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. What the hell's up with that?
I like it.
Oh, Kate likes it. Oh, never mind then, Tom. Let's skip over that. Tom, I called you over the weekend to congratulate you on your grandfather's award. I know how much that meant to you. I know how much we got a chance to talk about you going in a different direction, doing your own thing, taking the pictures, trying to get your stuff recognized. I mean, your stuff is recognized already. You got a famous name, and sometimes you feel like you have something to live up to. Of course, we lost John, and all three of you guys were taking pictures at one time at New Egypt. But for you to get that award, to get your grandfather's award, you got to be pretty proud of that, buddy. Right. Crazy, right? Right. Right. Wow. Right. 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 Well, you've gotten some fantastic shots. I mean, when my brother Ken was alive, he had a lot of pictures, and I got to tell you, 80% of them were from your dad. And he told me, he said, Nick, this guy, he said, here's how you can tell a great photographer. He goes, look at the picture of the car, but look at the driver. He said, you can see his eyes because this guy took this picture. And I went home and I had a couple of pictures that your father took, and I looked at the picture. I never paid attention to the guy inside the car. I just paid attention to the picture, and you could see his eyes. And I'm like, wow, Ken, you're right. He goes, that's the difference. Mm-hmm. He goes, some guys take pictures, some guys take portraits, some guys take art. He's an artist at what he does. And your dad's a legend, man. I don't care what he's going through. I don't care what happens. He will always be a legend. He will always be Ace Lane. You will always be Tommy Lane. And you're making your mark, Tom. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't ever think that you're not good enough, because you are. Okay? You are good enough. You've already proved that. You got a great heart. You're always given to the sport. And we appreciate everything you do. And I got a guy sitting over here that's going to start racing this year. And I know I'm going to have you do some special pictures for me of him that I can hang on his wall in his shop. And we're going to have a lot of fun with Tommy Lane taking pictures of Mr. Fletcher.
I'm looking forward to that.
What?
Right. Right.
Yep. Right. Exactly. Now, Zach, all the pictures, he goes, man, Uncle Nick, I'm glad you introduced me to him. And he takes some really great shots. And, all the pictures I have, he usually comes over to my house and steals them because I got them from you, and he steals all my pictures. But,
I'm glad I got one hanging in my wall.
I've got a lot of good pictures from you, Tom, that you've made for me. And I got a lot of great pictures that your father made of my brother John. And they're memories. They're cherished memories. And we appreciate you calling and being on the show with us. And I will see you at New Egypt, I promise. Okay, you deserve it, Tom. You deserve it. Don't. Okay, you
can
deserve it.
Call the show anytime, Tom.
Yep, anytime you want, you can call the show. You know that. All right, brother.
Thanks,
Well,
Tommy.
be good. Give Dad a hug for us, all right? All right, brother. I'll be there. Come see us. Now what, Steven?
They got Davey on.
Ah, we got Davey Salmons on the line. Just the guy that we want to talk to. Kate, you can talk to Davey.
Hi, Davey. How are you today? Good. Thanks so much for calling in today. Want to give us some information on your upcoming events? I know you've got a lot going on. We're in the height of indoor season, and I also know for you guys, you had EMPA, and then we have now we have motorsports coming up. So can you share some information about that? Oh, wow.
Nice. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, I watched you race quarter midgets with my nephew Barry, and to see what you guys are doing, and your family's been involved forever, Dave, and your father needs to be proud of what you and Danny have become and what you're doing. You're going right through what he done, and I was telling Warren earlier that the racing is phenomenal. The last race you guys had at Allentown, the racing was phenomenal. I mean, if you're going there and you're not enjoying yourself and watching great racing, you guys are working your asses off and making that track really, really fast. And there's multiple grooves, and you guys found something. So just keep it up, and you're doing a hell of a job. You guys need to be commended on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Now, do you miss do you miss being involved? I mean, you guys are involved in everything. What your dad does. Do you miss being involved with the sprint car? I mean, I know you really like sprint car racing. Do you miss that at all, Dave? Beautiful kids. Right. I can only imagine. I can only imagine if Joey Pratt was still around for all this stuff that's going on with the indoor stuff and motorsports. I mean, I have the name Nitro Nick Leach because of Joe Pratt. A lot of people don't know that. He told me, I'm going to call you Nitro Nick because at any moment you could explode. He said, so that's going to be your nickname. And I miss Joe a lot. I think of Joe a lot. Joe was a hell of a guy. I know during your quarter midget racing days and during your brother's quarter midget racing days, Joe was a big part of that. He was a big part of the race paper. And the race paper is second to none. I mean, a lot of people, you know, the digital age, okay, you guys, but if you can pick that race paper up and read it, just look at it and read it and turn the pages, that never gets old, man. That's just so cool. And we appreciate everything that you and your father and your brother do.
I just... Just one more thing, Davey, before we let you go. Do you want to talk a little bit about the after parties and the things that you have planned for the fans and the competitors in Atlantic City?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Mm-hmm. Wow. Fred, can we get a champ mark?
Okay, let's go get one.
That's cool. Thanks, Dave. That's
Let's let pass.
Nice. Wow. That's a lot of money on the line for, people that don't make that much money. So that's a pretty cool deal. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, all I can say is this. Get your area auto racing news. If you don't have it in your hand, make sure you get it online. Make sure you support all these shows that they're having because they go out of their way to do what they're doing for the racers. Dave, we appreciate you calling us and being on the show, brother. All right, brother. Thanks,
you. Davey.
See you, Davey.
Going to answer that?
WBCB.
It's probably Pete.
No good. I'll get you on the show, guys.
Who that?
Steve Warren.
It's Pete Warman.
Pete. Okay. There you go.
Pistol Pete from the Diamond Suite. Pete, Warren wants to talk to you. Warren, Pete's on the line.
Hi, Pete. Nothing much, my friend. How are you? Just wanted to say hello, because otherwise I can't get a word in Edgeworth because Nick will be talking all the time. So, miss you, buddy.
He's lying, Pete. I don't talk that much. I've been under the weather a little bit, so I've been trying to be quiet. Don't say a word, Kate.
I think if we showed a playback of this show.
So, Pete, that's when I'm in studio, it is generally to keep Nick in line.
Nick? Just Nick? What about Fred?
Hey, I'm in line. I'm always in line.
Well, I can tell you this, Pete. It's a lot of fun when all of us are in here. Yeah. We like having Warren here because he gives his wisdom out, and we need a lot of wisdom here. He's like the pastor of Wide Open Wednesday, so he may get a new nickname. And so what's going on with you, man? I heard you were under the weather a little bit. Have you got a chance to talk to your new boss? He's at the Chili Bowl. Yes, and he's doing a great job at the Chili Bowl. I can tell you that. Yep, he's doing a great job. Kelly Bryson's there. I would think that somebody would give her a call and try and get her on my show, but somebody's getting weak on that.
I swear.
It's not me.
It's Kate. I won't drop no names, but it's Kate. I said, we do this Leadfoot Ladies of Racing if we get Kelly Bryson. And she said, okay, no problem. Crickets.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I know she's busy. I like messing with Kate, but you know what?
Yes, no, you didn't think of that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you did.
This has been an all-day conversation,
Oh, my
Pete.
God, Pete.
With the text and all, going back and forth between all of us in a group text, it's been all day.
Pete, you looking forward to 2025, my man?
2 minutes.
Well, now that I can talk to you guys and stuff, after I do a couple interviews at the Wide Open Wednesday booth, I'm coming over to the New Egypt Speedway booth and I'm going to interview you. All right, I'm going to come over and see you, I promise. All right, I'll make sure I come over and see you. All right, well, you got the banquet coming up, right?
Right, banquet's coming up, right? Yep.
You know where that's at, Warren?
Yeah, it's by
our house.
It's by her. It's by the old Fridays.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. You coming to Atlantic City, Pete? Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. My first indoor race.
Yeah, if you do, I'll try to catch up with you. Yeah, me and Nicole will be on the flag stand, yeah.
He flags all them races, Pete. He'd flag the Chili Bowl. He's trying to get Chris to get him in there.
Oh, no. No. Listen, Terry Maddox, Terry does a hell of a job, but, I mean, in my younger days, I would say that, but at almost 60...
Come on, man, you're shedding pounds now. You're going to be back to fighting weight, brother.
I know I'm shedding pounds.
Yeah.
But he almost got hit again this year with a 600.
Yeah, but you would throw shit at them.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
They wouldn't hit you.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, buddy. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Come on now. Pete, you should see him. He's half of his old self. He's going to be jumping out of the flag stand, beating people up. Trust me.
That's why I have Nicole.
Are you flagging at Big Diamond this year again?
Yes, I'm back at Diamond on Friday nights.
All right, well, guess what, Big Diamond? He's slimmer, he's faster, he's badder. You give him any crap, and you're getting it. So be
He's
prepared.
gone off the flag stand when he needs to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. He's the first guy to the car when it's upside down. Well, we got 2 minutes. You're telling us 2 minutes? We watched him many times. He's the first guy to the car. It's first 8 guys? Nah. Ain't got nothing on my boy Warren. So what do we got to say our goodbyes now, Steve?
I think so.
Or are you going to cut us off?
Let me give a quick shout out to the guy that got me into racing, because he's been under the weather. He spent some time in the hospital last week. My dad. So
Oh yeah.
So he should be listening tonight. He said he was listening. So love you, Dad. Waiting for you to get out here and watch me run.
Yeah, Dad, come on out here and be with us. We got a spot for you on the show. I can't wait to meet you, Mr. Fletcher. Just concentrate on getting better so you can come down here and watch your son race.
All right. Did we use up our 2 minutes, Steve?
Yeah, I think you're good.
We're good? I don't know. Don't say 6 o'clock on that clock out there.
That's right.
What? What? It says 5:55 on my clock.
Face-off time.
You know what? You owe us an hour, Stone Cold. All right, that's
If you're
Stone
still there,
Cold
buddy,
Steve
have a
Lawler.
good
If you
night.
go to
Careful
Johnny
getting
Red,
home.
if you go to Johnny Red Hots, you'll see him there. We don't get nothing, but he does.
There's something to that.
All right. I guess on that note,
Yeah.
Everybody have a
We'll,
great week.
Have a great
we'll end
week.
this show. Have a great
Thank
week.
Warren for coming, Kate for
Be
coming.
good.
All right.
Be
Steve,
careful.
you're
I'll
okay.
be on tomorrow. We can continue.
Yeah,
this.
tomorrow
Absolutely.
from 9 to 10.
9
Tune
to
in.
10. Yep.
So we're gonna end the night here and get ready for
Hockey
On the Ice
on the ice.
from Chicky and Pete's here
And
in
watch the
Bordentown.
ice when you're out there.
In Bordentown.
Oh, yeah.
93% of
Look at that. I tossed it right over to
He's
him.
really
That's
good at that.
That was good.
He is really good at that.
You know, he's a medic at the hockey games. He
is?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice hockey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have my. I guess I left my phone in the car. We had a ref get checked into the boards.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then really bad, and he has a fracture to his back. So I took care of him, did my thing right. Well, he wrote a letter to all the athletic directors in Mercer County,
Yeah.
thanking me for helping him and how
Calling him out
important
by
it is.
name.
How important it is to have medical services there. He felt it was instrumental in him and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah,
got 250 of them.
I will take some.
yeah, absolutely.
Warren,
And you're bringing them.
Yeah.
you ever seen Lee get cut?
No, I